Hey everybody, okay, so let's jump in this. I know time management sounds horrible. There's nothing fun that comes out of time management, as people mostly think. Okay, but I'm here to tell you that time management can be fun and very rewarding. There's so many things that you can do with it, and you can kind of make it playful and fun, and I'm going to show you examples of that. So let's not fret. This time is for you to pick out a couple things that you could use. It's only going to be 20 minutes of your time, and I promise you, you're going to find something that you can really implement and see the rewards from that. Okay, so here we go. And my name is Megan. I'm an artist. I'm also a brand ambassador. I work with many companies all over the United States, some in other countries, and I really try to keep that timeline open and open communications with the companies that I work with and represent. They expect me to be timely with everything, and therefore I got to be able to adjust to things that happen. Okay, so this presentation is really going to show you things like suggestions to better control your life and gain some of that time back that you're missing. Time management is very important. If you tarnish your reputation over time management, you are likely going to have a hard time rebuilding your image and gaining the trust of people that you work with. Okay, so this will benefit everybody: students, professionals, parents, even just the individuals struggling with time management or that could use a little bit of help. Even if you are a good time manager and you're watching this, you're probably going to find something that maybe I do that you don't do, and that you like, or maybe you'll find something that you don't like. And those are all learning experiences. So I encourage you to just go ahead and watch and see what you might learn today. So the main concepts that you're going to get from my objectives of this course are going to be the proper use of to-do list. You're going to be able to effectively manage calendars. You're going to be able to maximize the role of weekly calendars. You're going to kind of get a little feet in the water of advanced concepts such as Excel and using the charts. And then we're going to kind of talk about how you can merge it all together. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is to-do lists. These things are the most important. If this is the only thing you pull from this course, this is what I want you to take, okay? This can replace your weekly calendar if you want to, but for some of us, we need all of it, okay? So, to-do list. This is what I do. You might do something different. I am a good old-fashioned paper girl, okay? I like to write it down. If I write it down, I'll remember. There's no way that I'll forget it. Okay, so I do it week by week. That way, I do not have too much things on my to-do list. It's not overwhelming, and I can mark them off as I go. That way, when I complete it, it's done. Okay, so week 1, I know I need to do a discussion board, responses, and 2 assignments. That is something that I know is due by Sunday because it's like that every week, okay? Except for your discussion boards that are usually due Wednesday. So that stuff is not going to be written on here. It's just going to be written as a thing to do. Now, you can add, and people do this, and if I have a lot of things going on, you can add a due date. Typically, if my list gets so long that I need to do a due date, I can put the dates right here. Let me show you. Okay, I just will put them down the side here. If I can, I will do it in due date order. That way, I kind of have a good idea, and I can just look at it and say, this is priority number 1. Sometimes life doesn't work that way. Okay, so this is a to-do list. It's just going to be a brief what you got to do and the date. Okay, so let's say I did all this. I went to the post office, but I also need to go pay a bill. So I remember that I got to pay the bill. I have my planner with me, which has my to-do list, and I put pay bill by today, and I can't forget. I pay the bill. All right? I just mark it off that it's done. Okay? Now, if I have a task that doesn't have a necessary due date, but it's something I need to accomplish, then I can put the task on here. Okay, so I know that within the week I need to mow the yard, okay? And it might be something more pressing than mow the yard, but you'll get the hint. Okay, so I know I need to mow the yard. Well, the week elapsed, and I didn't mow the yard. So you're going to take everything that you did not accomplish from this list, and then you're going to move it to your second list. So I'm going to one at a time, that way I don't mess anything up. Take mow the yard and move it to week number 2. Mow, and my pen doesn't work. Mow yard. Okay, so here we go. Now I know in week 2 I'm going to do discussion board, responses, 2 assignments, and I'm going to mow the yard. Now, this is where the due dates come in handy. If you know you need to mow the yard within the week, you need to put a due date because you moved it from the one week to the other week, okay? That way you don't forget and that you know it's priority. And you're just going to continue that. So you're going to do like week 3, week 4, and if it has a 5th week, you can do that. Or you can combine it on week 4. So that is your to-do list. Very simple. You just put what you got to do and the due date. If you don't need the due dates because you don't have that much, or it's kind of something you do all the time and you know the dates, then don't worry. Then you don't have to put the date. Okay, so to-do lists are a list of tasks that need to be completed. The benefits of time management using these skills are going to be improved quality of life. It's going to prevent stress. It's going to manage multiple tasks, plan for unexpected events, increase daily production, and you're going to become your best self overall. Remember when I said that monthly calendars do not have to be boring, that you can kind of spruce it up and make it fun. Okay, so I like to be a little funner with my monthly calendars because I do have all the other time management skills that I can add a little bit of fun to my planning. So a monthly calendar is going to be a managing tool to remember upcoming tasks and events. So basically what I do is I pick small symbols to represent a task or an event. So here's my calendar. This is a new one. I get the academic calendars, which start every July. So I just started a new one in July. There we go. And see, I like to add little pictures and memories and things to mine to make it funner and make it not such a daunting task to open my calendar and look at what I have to do. Okay? So as you can see, the triangles, the stars, the little flags and stuff, those are tasks that I have to do, which helps me get a good visual. So if I'm about to plan something, I usually have my calendar, and if I'm about to plan something with somebody, I can just open this and look at the date, and if it doesn't have anything, then I'm good to go. I can plan it. But if I do have a star or a heart, I can then look into my weekly planner and see what the details are. And if the details are not too bad, I can go ahead and schedule with them at that time. So that's the monthly planners. They're really great to have. I use mine more as a memory storing kind of tool and an upcoming future kind of tool. There's a lot of things that you can do with planners. You can add color, you can add inspiration, you can add quotes. What I love is getting stickers with the quotes. That way I don't have to spend a lot of time writing, and they usually have something pertaining to me. In the notes section over here, you can add all kinds of notes. Sometimes I'll put checklists, I'll put random thoughts or things I need to get from the store. Sometimes you still have like the top 3. You can put your goals on there, things you want to accomplish that month. Along the top, I usually put some sort of quote or something that's happening that I want to remember. If something fun happened, then I'll add a picture or I'll add something fun to just remember that it happened that day. So that's the monthly calendar. Let's move on to the weekly calendar. Let's see here. Weekly planners are planning tools to manage daily activities forecasted within the week. Okay, forecasting is very important. I know that's usually like a accounting word, but you can forecast anything. Anything that you need to look into the future is forecasting. And it's very important, not only in finance, but in your life. Okay, so we've got your monthly planner with different symbols and things representing things that you have to do. And then if you open up a lot of these calendars, and I love these ones that have all of them included, okay, you have your weekly. So whenever I stick a sticker, I open it up and I put the details. That way, there's no way that I forget. I never miss a time, and I'm always on time or correct. Hardly ever do I make a mistake if I do it right then. Now, if I hold off to put it on my calendar or planner, there is room for error. At least if I'm with them and I make it and they confirm, then there's less likely to be some sort of miscommunication. Okay, so that's another tip, is carry your calendar everywhere. That way, if something comes up, you don't overbook, you don't schedule something for the same time, you don't forget that you have something going on, and you're able to right then confirm the time that you're trying to meet or do whatever you're doing. Okay, so here we go. Here's your planner. I put everything. I put meetings at work, I put assignments at school, I put home things. My daughter has softball. I put that I need to go to the grocery store. I make sure that I put everything that I need to allot time into these slots. That way, if I'm planning something, I do not miss something, okay? And it also allows you to plan for unexpected and adjust if you need to. Okay, so once you fill this out, and I try to keep this as structured as possible, but once the time elapses, then I start adding fun things to it, such as pictures and maybe a little short story or something. I like to use mine kind of as a journal. That way everything's in one place and it's great and it's easy. Okay, so that's your weekly planner. So we've talked about your to-do list, we've talked about your monthly planner, and we talked about your weekly planners. These are all important. And something that you should implement in your life. Or even if you could just start with a to-do list, you will see so many good changes. Okay, so I said before that I am a paper girl. I love to put my calendars on paper. I feel like if I write it, I won't forget it. And it's portable, so is cell phones, but this just works better for me. Some people are more digital. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Of course, you can take everything that I told you already and put them into the digital world, okay? If you're not really into the old-fashioned keeping up with your stuff kind of thing. Okay, so digital tools that you can use. Excel. Excel's great. You can edit quickly. You can change things. You can, it's overall quicker. You can link to mobile apps and notifications if you have a little bit of programming skills. A lot of things can be found on Google if you really want to do that. There's some apps that you can use that are just really easy to just streamline that. If you go to bookme.com, you can do that if you want to use your calendar as a foundation for other people to book you, and they can go ahead and do that. It's easier to manage on Excel than it is paper. Of course, with paper, if you write in ink like I do, you have to scratch it out and redo it. But I like to see that I made that change. That way, I don't start second guessing myself and thinking that it was supposed to be on the day before and I have it on the day after. That way, I know that I made the change, and then I can remember that it happened. Okay, if you do it on Excel, it's easier to share with collaborators or employees. So if you have an employee that's like an assistant, they need to know where you are, they need to be able to schedule things for you. Having a Google Docs Excel sheet made up to a calendar or weekly planner or something like that, you can go ahead and be able to both have two-way editing, or you can even have it where you can just send a link and your collaborator can see when you're available, and then they can suggest a time to meet. And it's always accessible that way. So I love Excel for that reason. Being able to go back and forth is something that you should invest into if you're really serious about learning more about time management. I don't want to go too far into Excel. I just wanted to put it out there that you can do that. But this is, like I said, a foundation webinar. I'm not trying to go too much overboard. If you need that, there will be a class after that you can enroll in and learn all about the Excel time management. Okay. So something to look forward to. If you really liked this webinar, you found it useful, just check out the other ones that I have, because I'm going to go more into detail and you're going to get a better overall knowledge of this stuff. Questions, you can go ahead and email me, meganwhimsical@gmail.com, and I would be happy to answer questions. I do ask that you allow me about 72 hours to respond to my personal email. I do manage a lot of personal email, and on top of that, some brands that do have priority because I do work for them and my life. So I do allow about a 72-hour window for questions because I do get a lot of them, and I'll look forward to them. Anyway, thank you.